Okay, so what tonight's topic is what we're going to talk about is a difference a year makes, right? Because there are a lot of times I think people think that they're stuck in a position, they're very very unhappy, and don't think that that situation can change. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Angie because a year ago, is it a full year since you were served?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in the last year, all right, Angie has divorced her husband, sold her house in Massachusetts, sold her business, moved down, and actually moved down to Florida. The closing on her house starts tomorrow. She's starting a new chapter in her life. She's the owner now of Positive Educational Training. She's no longer going to be dog grooming. If anything, you're doing rabbit and cat grooming only.
Yeah, rabbit and cat only.
Okay, that's a huge change in a year's time. And Angie, this was not an easy thing to do, correct? Hey, Kayla.
It was unbelievable amount of work. Selling the salon, selling the house, doing all of it was an unbelievable amount of work.
Okay, but in a year's time, you're in a totally different place.
Yes.
Physically,
like completely,
emotionally,
mentally, emotionally, like all the things. Yeah, it is. It's completely different from where I was a year ago.
So,
I'm happier. Uh, and you know, it honestly for a while there, it felt like it was never going to happen. Like I was working so hard, and it wasn't. It was taking forever. It felt like it, and it felt like I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it didn't get any closer. And then finally, like all of a sudden, it just went done. So fast, I almost got whiplash because it was just everything happened at one time. So, and it was good. I mean, it was all positive, but
yeah, stress is stress, whether it's good stress or bad stress.
I think that's how that always happens, though, right? Like we get so caught up into it, and then all of a sudden it just goes whoosh, and all the change happens.
Yeah, and it was just a giant amount of change all at the same time. And right now, I am staying in my friend Amy's camper. PJ is sleeping behind me, and you can see on the right there. There's Alistair. He's snoozing on the other end of the bed, and Jazzy's on the floor because she likes to do zoomies on their heads. They don't like it. So, but it's good. And tomorrow I close on the house down here, and we will be moving. The four of us will be moving into our new home.
Okay, so really just want to drive home the point that at any point over the last year, it did not look like this was going to happen. But perseverance, okay, is
Dogged determination.
right. Because I think a lot of people give up on their dreams because it doesn't happen right away. And then they think it's just not going to happen. So they just simply give up before anything's had a chance to percolate and cook and come out of the oven all nice and toasty and tasting really good.
And Kayla said that, sometimes she says change is scary, but change is good. Sometimes, like in my case, you need to have an Amanda Matisse to give you a kick in the butt. I also had that kick in the butt and the encouragement and I know it's rough right now, but you are going to get through this because you need friends who will support you and tell you, I know this is really, really hard right now, but you can do this. You can get through this because it's going to be better. And right now it is absolute garbage. Hang in there. It will be better on the other side.
Yeah.
And
So
I remember having a conversation. Go ahead.
So you make a real point of having a good support system. Because if you don't have that support system, people who believe in you, or people who just are your friends, okay, and who will encourage you to do it. And if people are not encouraging in your life, you need a better set of friends. Okay?
I think
I am very blessed to have some of the most amazing people, present company included. But they were Amy, a lot of conversations with her, going, I'm not going to make it through this. It's too much. I can't do this. And her saying, yes, you can. Absolutely. You got this. And cheerleading on those dark days that where everything seems so overwhelming.
There's an actual psychological term, and it's called the crab effect. And it's named because that if you have a pot of boiling water and you're dumping crabs in to cook, if one of the crabs tries to escape, other crabs will pull that crab into the boiling water, take it along with them. So you don't want friends who are pulling you out into the boiling water so that you could die along with them because it's easier to be stagnant, do nothing, and then what tastes really good with melted butter. So, and I know that can be hard too. The friends you've had for a really long time, but you can have better friends.
And that's another change too, right? Yes. Finding those friends and then walking away from the people you could potentially care about, even though it's okay to outgrow people and it's okay to take different directions and not everyone is going to be there. That's a hard lesson to learn and to get over. That's been a lot of my change this last year is getting the right people aligned in my world and having to walk away from some of those relationships that I thought would be there for a long time and they weren't.
You know what? And that's okay too. I mean, I have family members I have very, very little contact with, right? For various reasons. We all have family members. We would, if we don't have little contact with, we prefer to have little contact. Life is too short to be around family members, and that can be really difficult if it's a parent. So, fortunately or unfortunately, neither of my parents I would categorize as toxic. However, they did have favorite kids. I was not it. For my father, it was my two middle brothers. And for my mother, it was the baby, which was the little brother. you know? And I'm like, well, what the hell? What about me? But they weren't mean. They weren't, um, they didn't try to stop me from doing things. I guess that's the best way to put it. Okay. Or didn't make me try to feel like crap for the choices I made. Okay. So that's a plus in their column. But had it been another situation, and I have friends who are really toxic, who cannot walk away because it's their whatever. But you could still have those family relationships and have another set of, of a support system for people who do support you.
Well,
like
I have what I call chosen family.
Yes.
My chosen family. I chose amazing people. Go ahead.
When we got married, we had 85 people there. 8 were blood relatives. To give you an idea, the rest of it was chosen family. Right? Like that's just, yeah, that's how I live too. I like to choose those people.
Yep.
All right.
And
Go ahead, Amy.
I know it's difficult to have friends that you've had for a long time and put up the barrier there and just say, nah, because they don't want you to succeed and they want to see you, But I will tell you, when you find your people and you connect with them and they're excited for you and you're doing something different than them or even the same as them and they're cheering for you to succeed, it's awesome. And when you have those people and, sometimes they'll drag you to the proverbial top of a mountain and strap the hang glider on and go, you'll be fine. And, like Mary Kondo. So
we've all been pushed.
Oh yeah, not just pushed, literally shoved. It'll be great. You'll be fine.
Good luck.
Here's the thing. I want everyone to succeed. I am not possibly be in this industry forever. In fact, my year is starting to look a whole lot different than it was last year. But now I'm on the flip side. All right. So I went up the ladder. Now it's time for me to come down the ladder on the other side. All right. And that's changed too. And it's been now my work week is 3 days a week. No, just not the Thursdays, guys. 3 days a week I am available. The other 4 days I am not. Okay. And that is not easy to do when you are a type A personality. Sometimes I just have to sit literally on the sofa and like force myself to watch TV to like just not do anything. I'm not a big TV person. Right?
No.
So that's a little adjustment. All right. And if you ask me now again in 6 months, I'll be like, yeah, 3 days is a lot. I don't want to work 3 days anymore. But any change is not the easiest thing to do. In fact, I think right now all I'm doing is some, like I like to call it light coaching. Okay. And I think that I just might want to do trade shows for this upcoming year and see where that goes. And not all of them. Okay. Not all of them. There are too many of them. And I would have to have a big old RV and just like literally drive from show to show to show, which I'm not doing that. I would like to do what's on my bucket list, Denise. Okay.
Which? What?
What? To do a Berkeley cruise.
Never mind. It took me a second. I figured it out. Don't worry.
Okay. and maybe something international. I think those two are like the only things on my list that I would like to do before I just like totally wrap things up and
Hmm.
so we'll see. Denise,
Yes.
what's the change in your year?
Well, I followed some dreams. I had Mary push me over the edge for the Pet Stylist Relief Fund, but I'm so excited to get that up and going. So that happened over the last year, and I didn't think I would even have time for that. My growth was actually more in my confidence and finding my path because being the type A personality and everything is a good idea, and when you have and when you have that, I know I can do whatever I put my mind to, so it doesn't matter, I'm going to conquer it. Very hard to edit and self edit, and I am working on self editing. I started planning next year's shows and how I want that to look, and I will be scaling back a little bit
Yep.
because I missed out on a ton of things. So I want to find more balance. But this last year was all about personal growth. And we were talking about finding those friends. In one of my classes, I talk about what a groomer is, and we're broken. We come from broken backgrounds with trauma responses, and we want to work with dogs, not people, which means finding your circle is hard. And I really hope I speak to some people out there because this was my hard one. Trusting Mary and Angie and even just this little circle was very hard for me to get over. The self-sabotage, B, the imposter syndrome, and hanging out with all of you guys, and then letting you guys in. So, like, Angie and I just talked the one day for like 4 hours, and that's not normal for me to let people in. So, like, me learning, letting in the right people is good. And that's actually what I've been working on is self-editing a lot of my projects and working on building the relationships that mean more.
Well, you know what, and that was tough for me to do because being as I'll say like midway up the food chain in the pet industry, when somebody higher up would like ask me to do something, it would be, yeah, I got to do it. I got to do all the things. But however, the problem with that is that you become overwhelmed and you're doing too many things and you're not doing the things. So you're doing too many things you're not necessarily doing well, or you are doing them well and you're burning yourself out. Okay. So anything that comes across my plate now, the thought is, how is this serving me now? And I just literally added another project to my, and that's all Kate Klassen's fault. I blame her because she sent me a message whether or not I thought something was a good idea. So
I did the same too this week.
yeah, so Kate sent me. Kate and I wrote the emergency and disaster plan. The template. You can actually now get that book on Amazon. Yay!
Yay!
So, and Pet Edge is talking to me about carrying it, so that's good as well. But we're going to do a live stream on Mondays, okay? And the group is Family Readiness, and it's just how to prep for emergencies, disasters, uh, ordinary emergencies, not necessarily disasters as well. But that's aligned with what I'm doing right now. Ha! Kate, it's all your fault. Totally your fault. But we will be live streaming into those two groups and a couple other places. We will initially, Kate, have to do it via Facebook live stream because Facebook will not allow us to do it into the new group because the new group is less than 60 days. So, that's the thing. So anyway, we'll see everybody on Monday, most Mondays, not every Monday. Okay. Probably 3 Mondays out of the month, I would say, is going to be average. Anything else you want to add? No? Oh, Kate, how's
yeah.
Bishop doing? Go ahead, Angie.
Take the leap.
Yeah.
Even though it's terrifying. Just do it. Take the leap.
And listen to your instincts.
Yes. Listen to your gut always. That's something I always say.
Mhm.
And Denise, there's a thing you may not have known. When people call me, we're often on the phone for 4. Kate can attest, Amy too, and Kayla too. 4 hours is like
I love it.
it's a thing. Yeah, because we got to talk about all the different things, and ideas roll when we bounce off of each other.
Yep.
And then things happen somehow.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
And it works. Okay, Bishop is home. He is good. He is sleeping. Thank goodness. For those that don't know, Kate's dog Bishop had stones and had to have 2 surgeries to get them out. But he's now home and he's safe and he's good and he's sleeping. Heal quickly, Bishop.
And one of Kayla's mentors told her to write on her mirror when she left corporate was, "What if you could fly?" Okay. Yeah, that's probably the only thing too I would do is like I would go back and Angie, I would push myself off the cliff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't even. It was you're like, hey, come on up here, look at the view, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty, and you're like, and it's like, ah.
And here's the thing too.
Like
You're
now writing a book.
Your circle of friends. You should not be afraid to tell your circle of friends your ideas because you think they're going to steal them. If that is your thought process, okay, that is not your group of people, right? Your group of people is who you can say, hey, I have this idea. And I'm like, or anyone's like, well, that's a great idea. You know what? Let me put you in touch with somebody else this is what they do. Okay. I think it's a great idea. All right. No, I have no intention of doing it. It's not my idea, nor do I want to. But you don't want to have that fear that someone is going to just take your idea and run with it. Okay?
Right.
Courtney says she took the leap into mobile just a month ago. The universe had been telling me to do it for a long time, and I finally listened.
Nice.
I swear to you, I have an angel behind me. I have several of them. Okay. And one of them is the one that pushes me all the time. So when I went mobile, Courtney, it was because I was pretty pissed. And there happened to be a grooming van for sale at Groom Expo in 2001. Okay. That became all right. But I was pissed and I got that shove. Okay. But the thing is, listen to your gut, have better friends. Okay.
And I'd also like to state in there, we talk about the people who will bring you down, but the other ones that can be just as dangerous are yes people. People who just want to tell you what you want to hear and they seem like they're supportive and without the feedback, right? Like they push you, but there's no feedback or support behind it. So that's sort of a false sense of security too. And that's another personality I don't do well with in my life to begin with. But is really easy to not recognize either. So
yeah, that could be the tough one. Okay. Hey, I want to do this idea and then not give you anything to build on. Okay. I've had many people, and I think this is why I'm as free as I am with helping people, because I've had a lot of people help me. Okay. I would send my early articles from Groomer to Groomer, and I'm going to just shout out Daryl Connor. All right. Hey, Daryl, can you read this for me? And not only would Daryl read it, she'd edit it for me. Okay. Like, I think this would sound better. You should do it this way. She made me a better writer. Okay. So if somebody is helping you and telling you how to do something, pay attention to it. Okay. But I've also had people who read and said, oh, yeah, that's good. And then not. And I know it's not. You know, I know there's something lacking in it. I, as the author, can't put my finger on it, but somebody else could. My husband was great for that. He has no problem being that loud, obnoxious. This really sucks. You need to work on it. I don't understand the word you said here. Here, do better.
We all need those too.
Well, you know what? We need those too. And here's the thing. This is why I have really, really thick skin. I grew up in a very loud household. Okay. My husband grew up in a loud household. This is a loud household. I have always told people, if you hurt my feelings, after I acknowledge you hurt my feelings, I'll give you a gold star. Because that's really not that easy to do. Okay. All right. We're on a half hour. Do we have anything else we want to add to this? Oh, yeah. One thing I want to add. This topic right here, this is the only coaching I do at this point. All right. For Plan B, what are you doing that's not grooming? All right. If you want grooming help, that ain't me. If you want help with employees, that's Denise right there. Okay. Angie will help you with rabbits. She'll help you with business. She'll help you with sanitation. Right. Denise will also help you with business. When Michelle, who's part of this group, if you have anything skin and coat, she's the person.
She's who I go to.
She's who I go to. If I got a question, I'll be like, hey, Michelle, got a second? It's a problem. Okay. Chris, he's the ergonomics person. Okay. Kayla, be warned, if you go for a quick 4 hours, it'll be some conversation about all things, also not rabbit.
Yep. That happened.
All right. And here's the thing, too. I'm going to yell at my fellow coaches. Okay. 5 hours is great to spend on your phone. But if you're in a coaching session, put up that wall.
No, she just needed a quick. I found a bunny.
Okay,
and
that's
how do I
totally
not? Yeah, no, that was just a how do I not kill it?
Conversation. So, but I see a lot of people do that, and coaching is coaching. Personal phone calls are personal phone calls. P.S. Rabbit made it to the rehab 3 days later. Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, so we're going to go on to our weird. Do you have your weird animal fact up?
I do.
Angie?
It's in the. Yeah, it's in the thing.
Okay, so let's do our weird animal.
Spooky one. Since Chris had the gross one last week, this one.
Oh my God! Listen, Angie, we were trying to forget that.
I thought 1 week, and I was just like,
we warned you. We warned you not to watch it.
You did. I was just like, well, it can't be that bad.
Oh, come on. How long have you known Chris? Okay.
Long time.
So everybody better hope that Angie is on here predominantly. If not, even if Chris wasn't planning on being here, she'll be here so she could do her weird animal fact.
Straight up. Because she's been trying to get me to do these since I started this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, we are not covering that. no. And she's like, yeah, but what about, and I'm like, no, 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 weird, not perverse, creepy, and psychologically damaging. No.
All right, so we're going to get to Angie's weird animal fact right now.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
All right. Slow lorises are arboreal, nocturnal rainforest inhabitants. They have 2 tongues. One regular tongue they use to clean their teeth. They also happen to be venomous. So when in danger, they'll lick the gland under their arm and it forms this flesh.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
So what they do is they put their arms over their head. They use their very long tongue to lick at their armpit. The combination of the saliva and the venom from this gland makes their bite turn into a flesh-eating venom. That cute little thing has a flesh-eating venom. And so lorises, like if you see them out in the wild, some of them are missing chunks of their face because they've been bitten by other lorises. And it just melts flesh.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Now, those of us who grew up with teenage brothers, probably not too surprised by armpits being venomous.
Yes, especially around the 13 to 14. Wow. Holy
Yes.
wow. Yes.
Currently going through that. Yes. Very
Wow. Yes,
much.
you are.
So stinky. Stinky boys.
So yeah, although they are exceptionally cute, even when in a zoo, they have to be very carefully handled, due to the fact that their bite is necrotic, and you can lose a finger. Just ding.
Kayla thinks we need a Weird After Dark episode.
Well, when Chris sees that, you know that's going to happen.
You know what, Kayla, we're going to take that under advisement.
So I may or may not be here next week because I do close in the house tomorrow, and my internet may or may not be in place by Tuesday. I don't know. So tomorrow at noon, I'm offline for an indeterminate amount of time. It will be before the 10th, but I don't know how much more before.
Hey, Kayla, Chris is going to be thrilled to hear that comment. Okay? that she's her spirit animal.
Uh-huh.
You probably made her day. But yeah, I will make mention to Chris that you will not be on next week. What's the date on the 2nd? Oh, you know what? I have. It might be iffy for me too, because I have an instructor training class. Last day is Tuesday. I might be late. All right. Or next week. Actually, you know what? Being as both you and I are iffy next week, Angie.
Yeah.
Why don't we just skip a week and go to the following week?
You're not going to trust Chris, Michelle, and I.
Oh,
about
God.
Everything.
No.
So just saying, you may want to just plan ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure the conversation with Chris and Michelle will all be about otters. So, okay,
No, I think
so
she told me the next one was going to be about dolphins.
no, you're going to put Chris and Michelle with no adult
Supervision.
Supervision.
Yeah, no supervision.
Oh, it's going to be grade into the most perverse thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, so I think I control the stream, so we will see you next week.
There's your Weird After Dark series. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely need to come with an R rating.
Yeah, we might have to like not put that on Facebook or YouTube because then we might get on the list. So we'll have to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do Angie. Maybe we'll do a channel on Positive Ed. Just put those two on it.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll do a Zoom rather than join us for the Zoom. And
Yeah.
it'll be
There you go.
Something with the Zoom. We're not recording this, so. All right, ladies. We will see. It'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
All right.